Got him. There is a pre-spawner. Be a crappie. Felt like a crappie when he bit. There he comes. Oh, good crappie. Get my net again. Got him. Yeah. All right, welcome back everybody. Your Southwest Outdoors report. Crappie fishing is just red hot around our 4-state region. There, we got it loose. All right, there's a chunk right there. Let me show you where that fish was, because this is a pre-spawner, and here's how I know. Let's put him back. Not keeping crappie today. You can see here, I'm right at the mouth of a cove. The back of that little pocket is where these fish are headed to spawn. It's only a couple of feet deep in the very back. But as you work your way out, right out in here, I'm sitting in about 8 to 10 feet of water just out off the bank. So what I've done is I've put that bobber down, and I'm using the little casting rig that I showed you earlier with a little lead head crappie plastic bait on here, a little crappie jig, letting it go to the bottom, gently lift it, let it swing back, and right up off the bottom, one will thump it out there in 8 or 10 feet of water, getting ready to go spawn in the back of that pocket. And one of the best things about this time of the year, everybody can catch these, even if you don't have a boat. Shore fishermen can do very well, can do just as well as a boat fisherman right now, because all these fish are usually within about 20 yards of the shoreline in lakes all around our region. Let's check in on the Texas Freshwater Fishing Report. Here's Brian Hughes.
Hi everybody, and welcome to the Lone Star Lakes Report, brought to you by Snag Proof Lures, makers of Bobby's Perfect Frog and Ish's Fat Frog. And we have a lot of different things going on across the state right now, depending on where you are. Amistad is seeing a great post-spawn bite with big fish coming in 10 to 15 feet of water just off the spawning flats at the first break on large plastic Texas rig worms. Now, if you like topwaters, this is the time to start throwing them, including the Snag Proof frogs. You can go to Cedar Creek, Palestine, or a little further south, there's Choke Canyon. Start early in the morning and work these baits around vegetation. Now, if that's not paying off, you can also go with a buzz bait, and if you have too much wind, you'll want to try a spinner bait, again, up shallow, around a lot of cover and vegetation. Now, also on Cedar Creek, we see crappie moving out of the spawning areas and back under the docks, and you can shoot those docks with small crappie jigs. Now, for more on dock shooting techniques, check out bigcrappie.com. They'll have the information on how to do that at these docks on Cedar Creek. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes Report, brought to you by Snag Proof Frogs. Let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, Texas Outdoors Journal brings you this week's report. For the 12th consecutive year, TOJ was recognized as one of the best magazines in the state when it won first place in the major outdoor publication category in the annual competition held by the Texas Outdoor Writers Association. For great year-round hunting, fishing coverage, pick up a copy on area newsstands or subscribe at the website on your screen. Well, now's the time to get real serious about catching a heavy, egg-laden speckled trout, and anglers need to be thinking about the spawn. Look for speckled trout roaming the guts adjacent to grassy areas. On the south end of Sabine Lake, there's been some really good production with fish just off the drop, away from the shoreline. However, now is the time to look for females begin to make their way up to more shallow water. Live shrimp under an Alameda rattling cork or your favorite soft plastic is a good choice. The shorelines of West Matagorda Peninsula is another prime spring spawning locale. Trout will be feeding on glass minnows in advance of depositing their eggs in the guts running parallel to the grassy shorelines. When the wind blows, one of the best places to find protection is the land cut. Dredged through the mudflat back in the early 1950s, this corridor allows specks to move northward after returning to the bay through East Cut at Port Mansfield. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a single tide schedule of one high and one low tide each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
One other quick thing about crappie, they are extremely depth sensitive fish. Once you find one at a certain depth, there will be others. Pre and post spawn crappie that are not spawning will be anywhere from 6 to 15 feet deep this time of the year. When they're actually spawning, making nests, laying eggs, they'll be much shallower than that, anywhere from 1 to 3 feet deep. So keep adjusting your depth, keep probing around, and once you catch a couple, fish that same depth for your best chance at success anywhere in our region. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll have all your fishing and lake reports from Oklahoma.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealers, is brought to you by Nitro Performance Bass Boats. Fish your best in a Nitro. By Stren, the standard of dependability. By Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. And by Motor Guide, never stop.